time for English, and I want to take you through the topic active and passive voice. So the most important thing here, we have to define what active voice is. Thereafter, we shall as well define what a passive voice is. So there are two things that involves active and passive voice. And most importantly, that is the use of the object and the subject. So the right definition will come in as we are going to look at the sentences that I've written on the whiteboard here. So the first sentence is, Jeremiah drives a car. Jeremiah drives a car. In a normal way, when you look at this sentence, it comprises of a noun, which is Jeremiah. Drives under the parts of a speech becomes our verb. Then a car is a noun. So in a simple way, we have to undergo what we call the definition of these parts of a verb that we have said. That is basically what is going to enable us to understand where the object and the subject comes in. Now basically when we talk about a noun is a naming word. A noun is a naming word. So it can be the name of a person. For example, when we talk of Jeremiah, when we talk of a place, for example, Ukerewe, Mwanza, or Tanzania as a country, or any physical feature, Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Elgon, Lake Victoria, and so on and so forth. Then when we talk about drives, which I've said that in this sentence is a verb is a doing word. Then a car is also a noun. But now when it comes to passive and active voice, you realize that Jeremiah is the subject. Drives involves an action, and it remains the way it is because her verb is a doing word. So this is an action. Then a car becomes an object. So this is where our subject of discussion is based on. And therefore, in a nutshell, we can say that active voice refers to a sentence which involves the start of a subject, then is followed by an object. Whereas when we talk about the passive voice, in a passive voice, the object comes before the subject. And as you can see in these sentences that we have written here, we are going now to change each and every one based on the definition that we have actually had as a result of that. So the first sentence is, Jeremiah drives a car. So I have said very well that in the passive voice, because we are supposed to change these sentences into a passive voice, we have to start with the object. And for this case, we say that our object is a car. So you will also come to realize that when we are changing it, our verb, which is drives, will also have to change based on the tense that that sentence is located. So we have to start with the object. And for that matter, we shall say, a car is driven by Jeremiah. So for that case, you can understand that our object, which is a car, has become first, followed by our verb, which now has been written in the participle form, followed by the subject. So let's go to the second sentence. Children drink water. Children drink water. So you can realize that this sentence is also in a simple present tense. Children drink water. So our object is water. And therefore, when we are changing this sentence from active to passive, we shall start by saying water is drunk by children. Water is drunk by children. Though sometimes we realize that there's always a confusion whereby some pupils come to an extent of saying that water is being drunk. No. You are only supposed to say water is being drunk when the sentence is in present continuous tense, i.e. there is an addition of ing to the verb. So here we simply say water is drunk by children. Then the third question pupils is they watch a football match. Our object is match, and therefore, as we want to change this sentence from active to passive, we shall start by saying a football match is watched by them. So you realize that they has changed to them because they is a pronoun. And therefore, there is always what we call change of some of the pronouns, like they, which changes to them, her, changes to, she changes to her. And at the same time, he can change to him because of that change from active to passive. Then our last sentence is, she arranges the flowers. She arranges the flowers. Our object here is the flowers. And therefore we have to begin with that when we are changing it into passive. Therefore, we shall say, the flowers are arranged by them. So to sum up my topic today, we have said that active voice involves the writing of a sentence beginning with the subject, whereas passive voice involves the writing of a sentence when you begin with the object. And the sentences that we have written here demonstrate them very well, whereas you realize that another thing also you have to understand that the pronouns have to change based on the tense of that sentence. For example, the first sentence was Jeremiah drives a car. And we have said that when you change it into passive, it becomes a car is driven by Jeremiah. Children drink water. Water is drunk by children. So the two remaining sentences you can read and understand as we pick from there next time.